Welcome to the Dominican Republic series. In this series, what I do is I travel to the Dominican Republic and I chronicle all of my strolls, all of my visits, all of my experiences, or as many of them as I can throughout the course of my journey through the Dominican Republic. In this series, what I do is I take a look at my accounts through the city of Santo Domingo, my visit to the museum, as well as my visit to Boca Chica, the beach, and the harbor. This is my first series and it will be split into 3 different parts. So I definitely hope you enjoy. I hope you stick around for all the other series I'll be doing on all the other visits to other countries that I'll be making. Please let me know what you think in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I appreciate any and all of your support as I get this journey and this project underway. This is my first stop. Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Reminds me of home. Quiero. Domino is coming. Walk across the street, but let's see if we can go. Oh yeah, the traffic lights here, they're here, but they're not quite in high supply. How you doing? It looks like an area, of course, where everybody knows everybody. Mira como un área donde todos los entes saben todos los entes. Sí. ¿Cómo está? See what I can find going to the coastline. Looks like there's not too much more that I'll be interacting with here on this street, but the coastline's not too far ahead. And as you can see by the clouds, it's probably gonna go ahead and downpour here soon. So if it winds up doing that, I can easily just go ahead and just wait until another point to show you guys all that here in this video. It's not a big deal. Most everybody that I've spoken with so far is definitely into the holiday spirit, spending time with family. Las mujeres de aquí. The ladies here, wow. When I tell you that they are definitely as what you would think from the women of Latin America, that is absolutely true. Well, hello. Beautiful, inviting. In fact, moments ago, before even starting this, I actually wound up getting my first kiss from a girl over here in the Dominican Republic. Not my first kiss overall, don't twist that. But yeah, the ladies here are very inviting, to say the least. What I'd like to do is also show, I'm probably gonna edit this out, but the museums. Everything's so colorful here. Very colorful. But yeah, we move. That Jen has the same idea I do. I'm probably gonna wind up also getting out here, going for a run here soon. Now, when everybody's not in a hurry, of course, for work, they are usually walking everywhere, which is good. I like that. Me personally, it's always a good way to, one, not only get your steps in, stay energized, also a good way to meet and communicate with a lot more people on the way that you need to go in order to get to where you want to go, which is an element that I personally think is somewhat lost in human interaction these days. And these guys, well, in the corner store, yeah, I'm starting to get a little hungry, so it's starting to get to a point where I absolutely want to see, some more of the food. Last night I got my first taste of the food here, and all the fruit here is fresh. All the fruit here is handpicked. All the fruit here is brand new, and it tastes unlike anything you've had of the fruit. The processed stuff, not just the processed stuff, the stuff that's just grown on a chain and in the same system of farms that's flooding the stores in the United States. No, the fruit here is very, very fresh. I had a fresh coconut yesterday night for the first time ever, and it was absolutely astonishing. That fresh coconut juice, that freshly picked coconut juice, freshly chopped, it hit unlike any kind of taste of coconut that I've ever had in my life. And on top of that, the coconut meat of a real coconut, a true coconut, is unlike anything you're probably going to taste in those bottles of coconut juice in the United States. Buenas noches. Oh, sorry, that little buddy. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. El sentido de comunidad está legítimo aquí. Muy legítimo. La expresión levels of expression here are amazing. And as you can see, we're actually headed towards the coastline. We're almost there. This will be my first time here on the coast, so I'm curious to see what will happen. If nothing happens here tonight, well then I can definitely aim for a different perspective for tomorrow. Now, in this particular day, I made it to the coastline. However, as you saw with the clouds, it was pretty dark, and on top of all of that, it did wind up opening up pretty good that day with a nice storm, and I had no choice but to find some cover after a few minutes of the downpour hitting. So once I got to the coastline, I could only get some food, and I could only call it a day. However, in spite of the storm's efforts in keeping me from seeing the coastline on my first night out, what it didn't do was stop me from being able to find the new empanada shop that I would begin to frequent throughout the course of my time in the DR, alongside, of course, keep me from meeting a gentleman who would become a good friend of mine throughout the course of my stay in Santo Domingo. He would help me get to all the critical spots that I would really like to go, and he would also be as kind as to share his culture with me and get me to understand just exactly how everything in the country is going at the present moment. I couldn't have been more blessed to meet both of those sites and to have the opportunity to see just what beautiful kinds of secrets the DR has to offer in terms of friendship. It just so happens that this country is very kind enough to where if you go out and around and about, you'll find yourself with a couple new friends every single day. That was something that I was fortunate enough to find out firsthand. Hopefully when things get a little bit bigger, I might be able to invest in a camera stand or some sort of a camera holder for that'll keep everything attached to my chest. But hey, we move for now. Beautiful trees. Oh, and if you plan on getting any money for the exchange here in Santo Domingo or Dominican Republic in general, first of all, bring a lot of cash when you come because there's going to be a lot of exchange in the airport, and I suggest not doing it in the airport because I believe they take a little bit off the top there. But at the same time, Banco Popular, as you can see right here, these guys are very, very common when it comes to giving you the easiest time when it comes to making the exchange happen when you bring cash, or if you just have a card and you need to withdraw from your bank with only your card on you. But I strongly suggest bringing cash beforehand so that you will have an easier time in the exchange, and also easier time and a faster time getting the cash you need to go where you need to go. So once again, Banco Popular. Very nice day out. Santo del Apostolado. High School of the Apostles, or Apostles High School, whichever you wish. From what I've noticed so far, I'm being here for a little bit. This is actually somewhat of a hotspot over here to our left when it comes to a little bit of nightlife here in Santo Domingo. Bambinos. Another thing worth noting as we're passing by BHD, as you can see right there, is BHD and even Banco Popular and a lot of the other ATM machines that I've noticed here are basically just ATMs. They don't have to say machines. But essentially, they require cards with 4-digit pins. 6-digit pin cards do not work on these machines, and that's another reason why seeing the bankers in person during the day when the banks are open is generally going to be your best bet if that's really the only recourse that you have when it comes to replenishing whatever reserves of funds that you have on you at the time when you travel. So I recommend, if not having a bank on you that actually has a 4-digit card for your debit card, you just bring that and use that as your main source of where you pull your funds if you need to replenish, because using a 6-digit card over here is generally not a good idea. Just my piece of advice. If you got a sweet tooth like I do, well, take a look at the cacao factory. Yes. Woo-hoo. If you are a chocolate lover, this is the place for you. Over here in Santo Domingo. This looks good. Check this out. Cacao. The local chocolate factory here. Whoa. This is sent even the greatest candy lovers, sweet tooth, in the overdrive.
Gracias.
On over here at the square, got a few of the restaurants here. Bit of construction going on, which is good. A lot of locals. And this particular strip right here is very tourist heavy, as I've noticed. A little bit of rain going on right now, and the rain, it's slowed up a little bit from what it was earlier this morning. However, it is still continuing to spit on us, more or less. Buenos días. A lot of artwork here. A lot of art that I'm definitely thinking about taking a stab at it, taking back home with me to the USA. There were a lot of art vendors in Boca Chica, and suffice to say, it was quite the experience. I just love how colorful the streets are. It's so awesome. And you know, the elevations of everything go uphill. Even over here in the capital. This place really is marvelous. It's very down to earth for someone like me. I like places like this where everything is really just down to earth. Yes. Oh yeah, I had a good taste of some music yesterday when I was on the beach. Yeah, I need to grab some stickers for my luggage to let everybody know where I've been. Yeah, that's the rite of passage whenever you start traveling internationally. A lot of mix of a lot of culture here in a lot of the art here in the Dominican Republic, such that you see influences from all of the areas upon which they've had influenced the culture here to the present day. Native Taino, a bit of European, and then obviously, of course, the African influence as well. And then, of course, when it comes to hair shops, of course, the Dominicans, they do not play around about their barbershops. There's an aspect right there that you know full well they're going to have on lock. It's grooming. And see, there's exactly what I'm talking about when I show you all of the different influences that they have in their artwork. You see influence from just about every touch of their history. And then, of course, of outside influences as well that have made their way here to the edit day. Absolutely outstanding. Yeah, there's a bit of construction going on here now. They're moving quickly too. I don't remember this being up at any other point in time, but yeah, this goes to show, of course, how things are moving along here in Santo Domingo. And there's obviously the American influence when it comes to food, fast food, which I thoroughly recommend even over here. I have not, in the sense of, I've not had the chance to try it for myself because while being over here, I only wanted to experience the main food. I'm good. Muchísimas gracias. Yo estoy bien. When it comes to, just coming over here and trying American fast food, I've stayed away from it. I've stayed away from it because I only want to experience all of the culture here in the Dominican Republic itself. I don't want to experience the Americanized influence with regards to, obviously, fast food, etc. Good eating over here. Hola. Yes, está bien por ahora. Está bien. One thing I'll say is that I was definitely unaware of the fact that the Dominican massage game was as on point as it is here. We have a lot of folks over trying to get you to come aside for a massage, whether it be on the street, in a restaurant, or even for that matter on the beach. And in general, it's been a hustle. And like I said before, you're gonna find a lot of hustling around, but I mean, you find that kind of thing over in the U.S. as well. So when I tell you it's just an observation and not a judgment, you'll know I'm telling the truth. Oh yeah, you can't be in the air that day without a hat. Gotta have a hat. And check that out. They even have panties and all that. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go over there. I'm not even gonna go there. You saw it was for yourself. Edit that. eso bien. Yo, regreso. Yeah, we're just about at the end of the avenue. See a lot of places to stop, a lot of places that capture and captivate the attention. Watch out for the mosquitoes when you come. They are sneaky and they are annoying, so be very careful. But yeah, that's the end of it. A little further on the west side of downtown, Santo Domingo. Disculpe, buenas noches. Buenas noches. Of course, empanada shops everywhere. Love them. Absolutely love them. But of course, just understand, everyone makes empanadas a different way. And some empanadas are flatter than others, so be very careful. A lot of construction going on here.
No pase de ahí. ¿Qué quieren ahora?
Whew, that was close. You know, a lot of people, play it close on those bikes. So we just try to go ahead and go around. Yeah, you notice that on these narrow streets, man, everybody fights for every inch they can get. Absolutely no disputing that. This apartment building right there. Wonder what the rent will go for there. That's the wonder. Buenas noches. I'll tell you right now, you probably heard it elsewhere, and it's absolutely true, but if you understand and actually bring their language over here to their land and speak with them, speak with the locals in their native tongue, if you just bring that element of home to them and not force anybody to have to speak English or the language that you know natively, you're gonna make a lot of friends. You're going to really strike home with a lot of folks, because it goes to show that you really did enough diligence about their culture. You have respected the culture well enough to take the time in and communicate with everybody on their terms, instead of forcing them to have to come into contact with you on yours. That always goes a long way in terms of making true blue connections with folks in ways that you may or may not have done before. And for me over here, I mean, I've not even been seeking any kind of appraisal for the level of Spanish that I'm at, and I'm nowhere near perfect. I know enough, quite a bit, because I've been speaking it for about 15 years now. And I know more than enough to get by and have any conversation with anybody, especially while I've been on this trip, even though the Dominican dialect definitely still gives me issues. Because the best way I can describe it is the Dominican dialect of Spanish, it sounds almost like they're slurring their words together. It sounds almost like everything is just being slurred right on together. I don't want to say in a drunken manner. I don't want to say like that, but essentially you have to really have a good listening ear to pick out the syllables that are being used whenever you interact. And for me, who's not a native here, it's basically been trying to use as much of my hearing as possible and listening skills to see and hear what's going on. And in addition to that, I've had to deal with the fact that, of course, my ears popped on the way here quite badly. And I've basically been dealing with, buenas noches. Been dealing with about 75 to maybe 80% of my hearing throughout the course of this trip so far. So that's been a challenge, but at the same time, it's been a challenge I've been willing to meet head on. And I've, of course, let the locals know that I've interacted with of what's been going on in the event that they've had to repeat something to me, because my hearing isn't exactly been what it normally is. And so they appreciate that. They appreciate, of course, anybody that puts in the effort, of course, they appreciate, and they'll help you out too. That's another thing. They'll help you say whatever it is you need to say in their dialect. If, of course, you say it, if you've learned things in a whole nother dialect that might not be the way it conveys over here, because, of course, different dialects of even the same language can have different meanings for the same terms. English, in a lot of ways, is no different when it comes to meanings, spellings, or even pronunciations of certain words. So that definitely goes without saying. But in the great scheme of things, the folks over here will absolutely adore you if you put in the effort. And that's a big deal. Put in the effort to learn about just exactly where it is you're going, such that when it comes to ways of making contact, like communication and interaction, you'll endear yourself to those around you in a foreign nation just by understanding those kinds of customs and how to make best use of those customs. Look at the fruit on those trees. I gotta wonder if those are edible. If not, I could be worshiping something that could be making my body numb. But you just never know over here. The fruit over here, the fresh fruit here, it has been second to none. I've been to a couple of islands before, and fruit on islands at the source is always top tier. At this point, I refuse to trust fruit that is not grown directly from an island. So far, I've only had that experience from the Caribbean standpoint. And Caribbean fruit has basically been the biggest source of the fruit that I've had. And I can tell you right now, there's a difference between it and the manufactured junk that we eat in the stores in the States. I'm just gonna let you know right now, there are no pedestrian stoplights here. You get across the street at your own risk here. There is no such thing as a pedestrian light. Oh, careful. And today, I even made a whole new life friend earlier when I was over in the plaza, over in the strip, after he helped me get my hair taken care of once and for all, aligning me up, getting me edged up, and getting me well done. And I'm just gonna let you know right now, the Dominican scene, they do not play around when it comes to hair. Any kind of hair that you have, these folks know how to style it, cut it, take care of it for you. They don't play around about that. When it comes to grooming, yeah, these folks are on top of every single detail. I knew that, of course, coming from the community that I live in the States. I knew this beforehand. Because, of course, those that move to the United States, they bring that aspect of their culture right on into the USA. This gym, yes. We go across. Oh yeah, another thing, I don't know if I've already mentioned it, I probably have, but just get used to the fact that folks are on their horns a lot here. A lot. Like I said earlier, you are fighting for every inch of road. Buenas noches. with each passing day, I'm very happy that I made this trip happen. Of course, I've been aware of everybody getting their passports, you know, PassportBros. We're up. And this is, of course, my first stop on my journey into expanding my horizons. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to have a little bit of anxiety. That's normal. That's normal. I mean, I'm not exactly someone who's riddled by anxiety at all, by any stretch of the imagination. But even I had certain thoughts coursing through my mind. Of course, the first days that I touched down, dealing with the exchange, dealing with different elements of the culture shock, where I realized, of course, I wasn't back in the States. Although culture shock wise, I'll say this, I have not been as culture shocked over here because, of course, I've been spending years learning about the different kinds of places that I was going to visit, and years preparing, really. Oh, wow, big old wasp. Big old wasp ran right into me. Oh yeah, baby, that bad boy was in a hurry. And good thing he just ran into me and he didn't head first and not you know where first. That would have sucked, but where was I? What was I? Oh yeah, so anxiety. So yeah, in terms of culture shock, I didn't get culture shock. I did not get culture shock when I came over here, and to the extent of, whoa, this place isn't the United States. Whoa, this place is totally different. Whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, there have been some aspects of how folks get on here that I've had to get used to, in the sense of the fact that this place is very much a cash-only environment that I've experienced so far. And for those of you that are from the Dominican Republic, saludos. And bienvenidos a mi channel. Y me gusta mucho tu país. La isla es hermosa. Las playas de Boca Chica son fantásticos. Y muchísimas gracias por su hospitalidad. Oh, there's a gym. There we go. There's a gym. Might need to go ahead and ask to see what the rate is to work out for a night or for a day. Because while I've been here, I've not exactly, outside of course, getting a lot of steps in, because I've basically decided to just walk everywhere. I've not had the chance to really just go to the gym, to just get a workout in, to just stay on top of my regimen. But then again, it's been worth it because I've been utilizing all those days to relax, to see aspects of the city, the culture that I normally wouldn't get the chance to see. And it's been totally worth it up to this point. Absolutely. So understand this when you come. One, have a lot of cash for the exchange, because quite frankly, if there's anything I could redo, if anything at all, I would definitely bring a lot more cash, a lot more USD over here, and if possible, skip the exchange over at the airport. And if you have to exchange at a bank, I recommend Banco Popular. I think I've already mentioned that before. But also, there are a few apps, of course, Western Union and also Remitly. Yeah, those are two apps that can absolutely help with the exchange. Although with Remitly, you have to know somebody over here that you can send money to in order to make the exchange happen. Western Union, it's a direct exchange. But I would definitely recommend going past the exchange at the airport, because they take a little bit more off the top than anywhere else that you're going to make an exchange for the exchange, if that makes sense. So be careful about that. Also, don't be shy when it comes to interacting with folks here, and don't be shy to also let certain folks that you're not interested in whatever services that they are providing. I mean, that's been something, I mean, everybody's very friendly here, and obviously you don't want to step on toes. Just let them, you know, no, estoy bien, yo tengo todo que necesito, estoy bien, on all of your needs that they are in some cases trying to cater to, unless of course it's something that you really want to undertake. You know, of course, a shoe shine, a massage, manicure, pedicure, whatever the case may be, food. Just keep your wits about you. But in the great scheme of things, honestly, you know, there's not much you can't like about this country. I absolutely adore this place. It's absolutely outstanding. And folks, that is the end of the trip here in the Dominican Republic. It's been a great experience, to say the least. Made a lot of friends, saw a lot of things. Y'all saw everything that I had the opportunity to check out here in the DR. Very happy. Can't wait to go ahead and get everything rocking and rolling back in the States. However, it's not totally done. So yeah, I look forward to going ahead and putting this video together and showing you guys everything that we had.